In this video, we are going to introduce the imaginary unit I. Now, it may look like it's really complicated, but really it's just a way to decide what to do with the square root of a negative number. Generally, if you're talking about real numbers, like actual numbers you can touch, okay, if you square them, in other words, you multiply them by themselves, there is no way to get a negative. Because if the original number is positive, you multiply it by itself, you get a positive. And if it's negative, you multiply it by itself, well, two negatives gives you a positive again. And so mathematicians just wanted to extend the idea of square roots to negative numbers. And what they came up with is they decided, okay, why don't we just say that square root of -1, we're going to call this I, okay, like imaginary, okay? And that's going to allow us to play around with these numbers that are not real, but now we call them imaginary. Okay, but what do you do if you have something else under the square root, not just -1? If it's -1, the answer is just going to be I, the same imaginary unit. But if it's like something like negative square root of 49, what you do is break the square root apart. Think about -49 as -1 multiplied by 49. Okay, and then you can break the square root at the times. You can always do that. And that's something that we're going to learn later on. But this is the same as square root of -1 multiplied by square root of 49. And then what is square root of 49? Well, that's just 7. And then what is this? Well, that's I, right? Because we decided to call it. So what we'll get is we're just going to get 7I. Okay, that's the answer. So over here, you can just type 7I. Now, what happens in this other one? It's the same thing, except square root of 49, we were able to simplify it as 7, but with 19, there is no way to do that. So basically, you get rid of the negative, you turn it into I, and then you leave the number under the root, because there's no way to simplify it. Just make sure that the I is outside of the root, it's not inside the root, and that's it.